What's up, Mortgage Coach community? I am a little more pumped than normal because I'm wearing a cool hat and I'm interviewing an amazing leader in the mortgage industry who I've interviewed multiple times. Jay Crowell, welcome to the Mortgage Coach community, brother.
Great to see you today, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you like this hat?
I love it. You look great. If you see me around town, a lot of times I'm wearing an RPE for FJC hat.
Yeah, no, I know you are, man. And I love your mission. I love what it stands for. I thought it was so important, guys, that I wanted to interview Jay, and it's going to be a little different. I mean, every time I've interviewed Jay, I've interviewed him as a mortgage advisor. He's still a mortgage advisor. He's a high-performing, one of America's most successful loan officers. Wait, time out. He's not a loan officer. He's a mortgage advisor, one of America's most successful mortgage advisors. And I've interviewed him on how he delivers advice. He uses MortgageCoach. He's created thousands of them. But today we're going to do something a little different. And I actually don't even know exactly how this conversation is going to go. I can understand what Relentless Pursuit of Excellence means, RPE. And I know the heart that he had when he started this movement. But we're going to talk about what this means. So Jay, before we get into this conversation, if there's a new loan officer watching or someone who's never, they don't know who you are yet, just describe your mortgage practice, the kind of production you do, and then let's get into the big topic at hand.
So I've been in the business for 20 years. I started as a producing branch manager in 2006. So been in management for 17 years. And at this stage, I'm the divisional president for the Pacific Northwest with Cornerstone Home Lending. I've been at Cornerstone for 13 and a half years. And so wear, a couple different hats, and I have a strong, production team, have a great partners and just a great group. So we're really about serving our community, one, borrower at a time. And, I've been using MortgageCoach probably since 2004. As soon as I was probably at a Dunkin' event and saw your platform, Dave, back in the day before it was web-based, and you made the PDF, but I've used that a part of my process the whole time. I almost went into wealth management and really felt like there was an opportunity to help people manage their finances and their debt like they manage assets. And I've always felt that MortgageCoach has really been a separator in being able to quickly and efficiently bring value to people and evaluate their short and long-term borrowing costs, because it's always been about education. I come from a basketball background and was a basketball coach. And so being able to use that, coaching, training, teacher education mindset to serving the community has been big for me. And, we've closed, billions of loans as a production team. And then, as a region, we're a very large region. So it's been a great ride. I was talking to my kids this morning, and not to get into, discussions of spirituality or religion, because I think those are all really personal, but we were having a conversation, and we do like this daily reader at breakfast time. And it's geared towards athletes. My kids like sports a lot. And it's called Victory 365 or something. And it was this statement of God is able to do immeasurably more than whatever we hope or imagine. And I shared with them today, I just was like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. When your mom and I, because Jen's been, my partner, like she's never worked in mortgage, but she's always been somebody that's believed in me and encouraged me. And, when I was in college, or when she was wrapping up her doctorate, I was new in mortgage. So she'd study and be in a cube right next to me at night. And I was making my cold calls, and I'd hang up a call and she'd be like, that was so bad. Can we do this again? Because when she was in high school and college, she worked at Nordstrom. So she had kind of I had a coaching, teaching background. from all the things that I did growing up and all my jobs. And she had, sales background. And so she's the type that can sell, snow to Eskimos. And so I got a lot of that refinement. So I told the kids, I said, your mom and I, when we went into the mortgage industry, even though she's never worked a day for a mortgage company, it was a we. We thought we were going to be successful, but to think that we've had the success that we've had and to be in the position we are today, we just feel so blessed. We feel so it's beyond imagination. So I was telling the kids, dream big dreams and have big goals and go after them, and whatever that is. So I'm so grateful for the mortgage industry, the mortgage community, for Cornerstone, Mark Laird and their family. It's just been a great ride, and I'm not done. I'm excited for right now. We're talking a lot about 5-year and 10-year plans, and I'm just, that's where our focus is at.
I love it. I love it. And you notice, guys, everything was about team. He actually didn't even tell us what his personal production is. I mean, this guy is the #1 producer at Cornerstone. And by the way, his team is that. Real quick, what is your production, just so folks get a sense of the number of families and borrowers you're serving on an annual basis?
I don't know our numbers where we were at. We didn't hit 200 million last year, but it was, so I can look it up. I typically like to look things up.
It's close to 200 million.
Close to 200 million. The previous years were over 300 million in a row. And so many years of over 100 million. So I know that the math is good just from a standpoint of what we're doing production wise.
And one last thing before we get into this topic, Jay, he is just defines humble, hungry, and smart. And when I've interviewed him at a top producer many times, he will always just hey, I'm doing this, but don't compare. Don't let compare take the energy out of you. Everyone that's listening to this, you have an ambition that's right for you. Our goal is whatever financial freedom is to you, awesome. Whatever success is to you, awesome. Just apply some of these philosophies and frameworks to be you, to achieve your goals. And it's not about comparison. It's one of the reasons why Jay doesn't, most loan officers, I ask them their production and it's a number. That's not Jay. By the way, that's not wrong either. That's them. Whatever fires you up, whatever your mission is, be you. So Jay, let's talk about Relentless Pursuit of Excellence. I wanted you, I want it personally. I want a lesson from you on what this means. Give a real quick on, why you started this, because this is more than just a quote. I mean, this is a
yeah. There's more to that. And obviously the FJC. So those are my father's initials, Frederick James Crowell, and nobody's impacted my life more than him. And he passed away after a 10-year battle with cancer, and it was his second round of cancer. So, really kind of an impressive, journey for him. So he started out, grew up in Anacortes, grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, poor family, was a really good athlete, had a bunch of, opportunities to play sports at the college level, played college hoops, met my mom. The basketball career didn't play out the way that he had hoped, as far as, on-court time and performance, but fell in love with the idea of coaching and got to be a coach while he got his master's, and, got a head coaching job at the University of Alaska at age 23 and pursued coaching for a long time. And then he started a basketball camp in 1971, which grew to be a very, large business, with 13,000 kids coming through the camp, lots of states, multiple different countries. And so he's somebody that also would say, he took a dream and it became way bigger than what he could ever thought or hoped or imagined or dreamed. And I think part of that is, he, laid those dreams, out to God and was able to do big things with it. And so he was larger than life, tons of fun, kind kind of the combination of you know, Chevy Chase and Bobby Knight, you know, and that's a funny, you know, like super funny and big personality, and also, you know, knew how to get super intense. But I was actually talking about him this morning. My wife and I were working out with our trainer, and my wife, in between like a rep, we had to rest longer today because we were working on strength stuff. And she asked me, because our daughter came down, she's 9, and she was crying about 10 o'clock, and she woke up, she had a dream about my dad, and she was talking about how much she missed him. And I was telling Matt, I said, you know, listen, Matt, we've been working out since September, and we've got a friendship, but I'm going to tell you, like, if my dad came one time, you'd like him better than you like me, and you'd be like, oh, that guy, you know him better after like 1 minute. My dad can have that magic. So that's kind of him, right? So we had all these sayings, right? And when growing up at the camp and he coached our teams, there was always something, and it might be like, what makes the difference? And you'd always have a response of, you gotta wanna, right? You know, and that's the difference, right? If you want to be great, whether you're a mortgage professional or a husband or a dad, or, you know, if you're pursuing other things in life, you have to want to do it. You gotta wanna, you know. And then another one would be, you know, who starts your engine? And the response would be, vroom, vroom, I'm a self-starter. Or how's your PMA? Boy, am I enthusiastic. What's PMA? Positive mental attitude. So he had all these, and the more he went, the more of these little sayings he in life, you know, compounded. And he would be like you, Dave, you know, big energy, big enthusiasm, and whatever he was passionate about in that season, that would be, you know, his driver. And so he got on this, you know, kick of RPE, the Relentless Pursuit of Excellence. And for me, I would say that was my favorite of all of his calls to action. And how he taught that to us was, it's about you never ever arrive. And I think, you know, kind of to your point, like, I don't really think about last year's production because we're in February. And you can ask our team, our celebrations are very, very small. We are like, dude, we hit a goal and we erase the board because the next month we're back at 0. And whether you like it or you don't like it, our business is all about, what have you done for me lately? But if you really think about it, that's how life is. I can't be an awesome dad for a summer and be like, peace on my kids. I can't be an awesome husband for a season and then be like, out, right? And Larry Kendall from Ninja teaches it so well. And if you guys haven't read the book, Ninja Selling, I'd highly recommend it, or check out one of their conferences. He talks about the ninja way, and the way of the ninja is mastery. And mastery is really basically RPE, that you're relentlessly pursuing excellence, because excellence is not a destination. Excellence is a journey. Mastery is endless. You're always refining. You're always getting better. And, you know, whatever sport you really love or enjoy, or art or music, like Robert De Niro is getting better as an actor, right? Because he loves his craft and he continues to evolve. And, you know, you think about, the guy's been funny, and he's been scary, and he's been violent, and, you know, he's played all the parts. He's been young, he's been old. And so I think, you know, that's a guy that, if you're not into sports, and I use too many sports analogies, but that's somebody that's pursued excellence in the area of being an actor. And it's not, you never are defined by your last success. And so, I think one little thought in that too, that I think is really important, especially in this season. So I coach my son's 6th grade basketball team, and we sat down last night afterwards. We do a little chalk talk effort, you know, after most practices. We try to take, you know, 10, 15 minutes. And the one thing that I talk to them about is identity. Your identity, if it is defined by your externals, you're going to always be looking for something more. You're going to be doing something, and in a season right now where we know that our results are not going to be measuring up with our goals for 99% of the loan officers in our country. You know, some LOs that have builder relationships or big builder, you know, pipelines that are hitting now, they're hitting big production. But outside of that, it's a leaner season. And so this is a season where we need to make sure that our identity is not so much about our results, but about our commitment to our disciplines, commitment to our plan, and the process of becoming who we want to be. And that's why thinking about where we want to be in 5 years and 10 years and working our tail off right now is really important, because it could be challenging to say, I have a goal that's big in June and hit it. But I guarantee you, if you have a goal for year 5 from right now and you work your butt off, you can hit it.
So before I ask the next question, I do want to call out that you shined a light on ninja selling. I interviewed Rebecca Lawrence yesterday, and we focused on ninja number 7, ninja habit number 7. And guys, she goes through really high level, the ninja 9, which are just incredible daily and weekly habits of high performing realtors and loan officers. She called out the fact that over 100,000 realtors have been ninja certified. And so I just can't emphasize enough, guys, that get the book. You know, there's 100,000 realtors that are ninjas out there. And if I was a mortgage professional, I'd want to be a ninja. So I'm going to put a link to that interview down below. Check it out. I told her that I was interviewing you the next day, and she's like, oh, Jay, you know, she's obviously a big fan. So here's what I want to do. I want to pull out, we are in still a tough season. We came off 2 historical years. Like if you were an athlete, you know, you won the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. And then, you know, you were like the Denver Broncos last year. I mean, it may not have been that bad. But by the way, I'm a Bronco
you know
fan.
what? The Denver Broncos, if you're a Seahawks fan like I am, then we were really happy about the Denver Broncos season, because we got to cheer on Geno Smith, our Pro Bowl quarterback, and we getting some good draft picks.
Well, let's not go there, because I'm a born and raised Denver Bronco fan, and so this will be, you know, we'll turn into a roast if we go here. But we obviously, it was a very humbling season for the Broncos. But guys, it was a tough year as a mortgage professional. I mean, rates doubled, almost tripled. You know, they went from in the, you know, 2s and 3s. And remember, everybody, and Jay, just a reminder, I mean, every mortgage in America, 63% start with 2 or 3%, and another 20% start with 4. So guys, we're in a new era in the mortgage industry where we need to be better. We need to build, you know, like ninja mindset. There's a lot of mindset management going on. There's a lot of new skills that need to be required. And there's a lot of action, which, by the way, those are 3 core principles for being a ninja that I just called out. So with that said, applying what RPE means to you, I want you just to walk loan officers through what does it mean from a Jay Crowell perspective to be an RPE mortgage advisor?
I would say to live RPE is the first thing is you start out with, you know, your goals, and they're written down, and you can review them, and you can show them to anybody at any time. What are your goals? That is a lesson I got from my dad. Starting in late elementary school, I had to turn in my report card after the first week of school. What are your grades going to look like when the semester's over? And that I used that formula all the way through college. I graduated with honors. Always was a good student, and part of it is you start with the end in mind. So an RPE loan officer has their goals written down, they're serious about them, and they know it. The second thing, that they have a written down plan of action of what it looks like to be able to reach those goals. So we know exactly what we need to be able to do day in and day out, week in and week out, month in, month out, quarter in, quarter out. You know what you need to do. And you get really, really focused on defining success on how well you did on executing your plan. And you don't focus on how many apps you got. Because the loan officer that takes one app and goes golfing all afternoon and does no sales activities is not RPE in it. The loan officer that gets no apps, but does all their sales disciplines with precision and to the best of their ability on that given day, that is excellence.
With a total cost analysis, might I say?
Absolutely. Every borrower getting a total cost analysis. That is a commitment. That is a core value. That is part of our perfect process, right? Like, we know the things that we follow to get there. So I would say those are the two big definers. I would say, backing that up, if you are committed to RPE, you are committed to, how am I going to create more value today than I did yesterday? How am I going to serve at a higher level today? Martin Luther King Jr. says it so well. You want to be great? Wonderful. You want to be recognized? Wonderful. If you want to be great, then you have to be willing to serve. And then he says, you don't need a college degree to serve. You don't need to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You need to have a heart full of love. And so if we are loan officers that love our community, that love the people that we get to work with, and have a soul that's generated around service, then we're going to do a great job. And we know that what we did for somebody yesterday isn't going to be good enough today. So we got to be better today than we were yesterday in what we do from a value standpoint. And hey, I want to be really clear. I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I mess up every day. I have to ask forgiveness to my family and my wife and my kids, if not daily, almost every day. So I am not perfect. I don't hit, and not every single day do I hit my disciplines, not every single day, but over time, can we do it? And that's part of RPE, is can you not get defined by the externals, kind of like what I talked about. If you have a bad day, I didn't do my disciplines, we come back to, I'm going to hit them tomorrow. It doesn't go to, and I think the world it teaches people, oh, I didn't do them, I'm a failure. Oh, I didn't do them, I'm never going to change. And so I think we have to, if we're going to change, we change our words. Words are so important and so impactful. And I think, for me, I'm a huge believer of the 5-minute journal. I do it almost every day. I don't do it every day. I don't do anything every single day perfectly. But I want to do the 5-minute journal because it starts my day and it wraps my day up. And I make those positive affirmations into my system, into my spirit, into my world. And part of that action is, at the end of the day, if you wrote down, I want to do X, Y, and Z in the 5-minute journal, it says, what can you do better? But you have to rephrase those statements as, I am so for example, if you said, I want to make 5 sales calls as on your 5-minute journal as a goal for the day, and you didn't do it. If I got to that point, I might write down, I am a disciplined salesperson, because I'm going to reframe it. I'm not going to have that negativity. And I think the more that we course correct and we realign our heart and our mind and our spirit and our body towards our goals, the better we're going to be. So I think part of that, we don't let our highs get too high, right? We're not going to be over the top celebrating. And we're also not going to let our lows get too low. We had a bad month. We had a bad day. We had a bad week. We're going to course correct. And that's part of RPE. That's part of the process.
So I love, so many smart things that you said, of daily disciplines, weekly disciplines. We've got core 4 habits of a, RPE, mortgage professional. What are your goals? Are they written down? I know when you and I were doing a little prep on this, I know a lot of RPE has to do with physicality, has to do with health, has to do with, just being right here and being right here. What are your morning rituals? What are the daily habits you do to make sure you are physically and mentally fit to achieve your goals?
Yeah, I mean, my morning routine is get up, brush my teeth, get my workout gear on. I think that's one habit that I created a long time ago is if I'm working out, like I'm not putting my work clothes on, and because then I might just go to work. So go right into workout clothes. I put them by my bed, so I know that's what I'm going to do the night before. So workout clothes, brush my teeth. I'm going to try to read something productive and positive. I'm going to do my 5-minute journal. So just some quantitative time, maybe some meditation, maybe some stretching. Just kind of depends on what I feel like I need in that quiet time, in that morning moment. But just taking some time for myself. Near the end of that, I'm going to look at my schedule and see what I have for the day. If my alarm has not gone off to make breakfast, because I make breakfast for our family. The alarm, if the alarm hasn't gone off for me to make breakfast, then I will get into email and I might do some work if I still have time in that. But I have to get those. I have to put some positive words into my system. Like it could be a good book, it could be reading a devotion, it could be reading the Bible. Just for me, those are my things. And then I'm going to do my 5-minute journal every day, and those are non-negotiables. And then the next one is I'm going to make breakfast. We have the same breakfast every morning. It is a smoothie. Our family all likes it. It starts us all with a lot of good, healthy, some protein and some fat, and gets us going in the right direction. So I do that, and then the kids go to school. I usually will connect with them. I typically will read them something positive as well. And then I work out, and then it's time to hit. Then I just go right to work.
What's a workout for you? What kind of workout do you do?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be weights. So it's going to be about an hour of hitting the weights hard.
Cool.
And I'm all focused on functionality. So, like I tell them, hey, I'm going to start playing my son in basketball and meaningful games here pretty soon. I'm hoping I can beat him when I'm 50. He turns 18 the same year I turned 50. So he and I are gonna go to the court on February 4th, 2023, and we are gonna have a game, right? So not 2023, 2029, and I want to beat him. So I haven't played a lot of hoops because I know it's not about that. It's about, is my body going to be right? So that's kind of my one goal, is not be in pain and do that. Check that box. Tuesday, typically a long walk with my dog and some stretching, and Thursday's the same. And then the weekends, I'm always messing around with my kids, hikes, walks, playing soccer with my daughter. So just being active. So it's the big thing is making sure I get those three lifts a week. That's the big box.
Love it, man. Dude, this has been awesome. So guys, if you're watching this and you've got a question, or I would love to know, hey, what are I think Jay gave us more than 5, probably like 7 things that are morning habits that get him ready to compete in the mortgage game. Guys, that's the other thing. We gotta make what we do a game. I look at mortgage professionals as mortgage entrepreneurs, and we're all playing a mortgage game. And that means you got to keep score. I'm sure you measure your metrics. You and I could talk for hours, but
well, I think part of that, I think we didn't get to the RP of like, hey, I think you need some sort of tracking, some sort of accountability around, are you doing what you say you're doing? And looking at that. But I will say, kind of to that point, keep it simple, stupid is really important. I'll tell you, I struggled for the longest time with, I went to Todd's event and I went to the academies, and this is no knock to that system. But for me, I tried to make this perfect time block, and I failed at it like the first day, and I failed at it like the first month, and I failed at it the first year. And I never, for years, I could never do that. So coming back to creating more margin for how dynamic our industry needs to be and the fluff that needs to happen. And so I would say start small, right? Like be consistent with things that you can do. And I was listening to a basketball coach talk to some kids this year. I was in the gym, and he told all the kids, if you're going to make a habit, maybe part of your habit is just showing up. Because he heard a study from a guy that made this huge dramatic lifestyle change. He was like 300 pounds. He was a professor or something. And he got back into amazing high school weight shape. So he went from somebody that's obese to in great shape. And what he did for the first 30 days, Dave, all he had to do was show up at the gym that he was going to work out and be there for 5 minutes. So it's just about showing up. So a lot of these things like, hey, if I did my job, if I got my 3 lifts in, that means I could fail on Tuesday, I could fail on Thursday. I got room in there. Like if I can get my 5-minute journal and put some good nutrition into my system mentally and, physically, it's an easy win. And so I think trying to create easy wins and trying to create habits with momentum. But if a loan officer, if you in the past were amazing at calling 20 agents a week, and then you got out of all your habits and you haven't done it at all, set a goal of, hey, do 5. And when you can be hitting 5 consistently, go to 7. And when you're at 7, then go to 10. But I think oftentimes we start with these big goals, and then when we don't do it, then we go to, oh, I can't ever do it, or I'm a failure. And it's like you set yourself up for failure right at the beginning because you made the bar to get over so hard.
So guys, I'm going to put a couple links down below in this YouTube channel to recent interviews I've done, or my favorite past interviews with Jay. He's an important leader in the community. I think he's an important leader in the mortgage space. Jay, I know I was fortunate enough to be on a list to get an invite to buy this hat. I don't know if you have more hats coming, if you're doing more with this, but if anybody did want to support some of the causes that you've put together for your dad, how would they do that? I just want to make sure we shine a light on that.
Yeah, if somebody would want to do it, just send me an email and I can make it happen. We are doing some more things. These hats we're set up so that we can, as a fundraiser in honor to my dad, help kids that were like him, maybe, of families that couldn't afford going to basketball camps or training experiences, to be able to go to camps. So there's no revenue generated from that. It's just a great opportunity to help kids out, be able to go have a good experience. So if anybody wants a hat, wants to, embrace that RPE lifestyle and help kids be able to go to a positive basketball camp experience, we sure would appreciate that. So to get the hat, a donation is required. And again, Dave, we thank you for your donation, and you've supported that cause in the past as well, not just for the hat. So we are grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. One thing to consider, like our shirts for Mortgage Coach and Sales Boomerang, we have for sale on the Win by Noon store, and all the proceeds, minus the cost, go to charity. And I'm real committed to, financial literacy. I'm actually launching a nonprofit called First Home IQ with Todd Bookspan and Kristen Messerly. So anyways, just know that if you did want to have us make a special shirt, throwing it out there, you don't have to commit now. We would be happy to put that on the Win by Noon store and have the proceeds go to charity. But guys, I hope you got value from Jay. Follow him on social media, watch some of the other interviews I've done. If you have a heart, if you do donate money and give to charities and, helping a cause that's helping young athletes who wouldn't otherwise have access to these camps. If that speaks to your heart, definitely check it out. I'll put a link down below to that. Jay, anything else you want to say to the Mortgage Coach community before we wrap it up, brother?
I love your shirt, Dave, and mine's in the dirty clothes. I literally was going to wear it, but I put on my Lion shirt today. This is Vanguard University, one of my good friends, the head basketball coach, right down in your neck of the woods in SoCal, Orange County. Amazing guy. So I put this on as a reminder to be a lion, to go hunt and to go make it happen. I don't want to be a gazelle getting chased. I want to go be the lion. And so, I think my one thought is everybody in our community, the more that we serve, the better our community elevates. So we want mortgage professionals to be held in the same regard of any other professional. And I think if we really focus on serving our community, serving our partners, adding value as much as we can, MortgageCoach is a tool that easily allows you to be able to serve your clients well, because they help make a great decision on their financing. But the more that we can serve, that's only going to set us up for greater success in the future. And I just think, as we are in Black History Month and we just got done wrapping up celebrating Martin Luther King's life, let's have a heart of service. And that is a recipe for long-term success based off of the great teaching of Zig Ziglar, who said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything you want.
I gotta just add a little log on the fire there, because as mortgage professionals, I love that metaphor of be a lion. I think, we need to stop worrying about competing with each other as mortgage professionals, and we need to compete for being the most valuable advisor to families. Like when it comes to achieving peace and success for most families, it's financial freedom. It's home ownership, but it's home ownership with financial freedom. And that means different things to different people. And I think mortgage professionals, guys, because you get all the information from both sides of the balance sheets, you can be more valuable than a CPA, more valuable than a financial planner, which, by the way, most families don't have access to financial advisors. As a mortgage professional, you be the most valuable, be the most, and compete so that literally you created more impact for that family than any other advisor in their life. So Jay Crowell, you're the man, bro. Give me a little bit. All right. Take care, guys. This is a wrap. Hope you got a lot of value. Subscribe to the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel if you haven't already, and take care.